Hey party people. I was up kind of late last night, starting to make some good progress on the Super Duke, but it's Sunday morning, we'll do a little update. This Ninja 300, I'm all done with this. This was just a battery, we fixed the blinker, did oil change and filter, replaced one missing plastic, and I did brakes. The brake pads were shot. You see those rears, there was nothing left. I think I went over this already. And the blinker, this was an oddball one. It was hard to get. So that's done. And then yesterday I sold the 2003 XT 225. I sold that yesterday morning. And then this morning, there's nothing on this trailer anymore. I had that 2005 Aprilia scooter. A guy came by this morning and picked that up. That scooter I actually got for free. And I had a new battery that I had bought for something else and didn't use, so I put that battery in there. I checked that it had spark. It had spark and it fired up with a little bit of starting fluid. So it had bad gas and it was a fuel delivery issue. But I just posted that as is. All I did was wash it and spend like 30 minutes on it. And I got $300. I could have got more, but man, that was easy money. It's some people, $300 is a good day pay. So, yeah, so it's 4 bikes in 7 days since last Sunday. I got rid of 4 bikes. Tax return season. But anyways, that's an update on all that. We got some extra room in the garage. And then we came home yesterday with the Super Duke and 4 totes of parts and a couple boxes. And then once we got it, it had the tank and the seat and it looked a little more complete. But once I got it home and started like covering stuff up to power wash it, I realized that the tank and seat were just slapped on there. So yesterday I power washed it, got it all cleaned up, wiped everything down pretty good since everything's all open. And I started going through all my parts, seeing what I needed, what was extra. Separated all my hardware. When you get bikes and boxes of parts like this, all you do is you start matching bolts. You take all the same hardware, put it together. You got ones that are this long, ones that are this long, ones have different heads. These ones have special washers. So you just separate everything, and then you have, numbers. You have 6 of these, 8 of these. So, for example, when I was putting this together last night, so the first thing I did, I cleaned everything up, and then I got the package tray, the tail light, and I started figuring out where all the wires go because, and I put the front together too. We did everything up here. But for example, when I was putting this package tray and this piece, I didn't take any of this apart. I just got a box of parts. So I put the package tray in, and then there was 2 screws here. And these threaded right in, so you knew they were short, and just by the size of this circle, you can tell that it can't have a big washer. So these seem like, if I had to put my money on it, these are the correct ones. And then the tail light actually had them threaded on the end, but that was easy to figure out. It was 2 screws. So now this is up here, and now to put this side panel on, I had 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. These are threaded into plastic. So you know that these aren't going to be a fine thread bolt that gets a nut on it. It's going to be one of these coarse thread bolts. And then when these coarse thread bolts, I had 6 of these right here. And then for these back plastics, if you look at that, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of those. So, you put 2 and 2 together, pretty dang sure those are the 6 bolts for that. And then for this has this big long... Hey, mother flipper. So, this camera died on me earlier. I'm hoping it got all the progress of this. I was just focused on getting this thing done. So I kept going. I got a lot of this together. It's looking pretty good. I still just got to put the battery box and that lower piece, all that. There's a lot going on down there, but I got everything up top figured out, and on the front I got the exhaust on. I pretty much got all the hardware figured out. There's a lot of extra parts because he got a lot of aftermarket parts. But I got it all together, got the harness figured out. I put power to it last night and it keyed up. The mileage was actually what the guy said, but now I got the tank on there with some fresh gas, everything plugged in. I just put a gallon of gas in, nothing's leaking. So I'm gonna hook up the booster pack and see if this thing starts up. And then I went riding on the two-stroke earlier, and when we got back from riding, you know, I parked my truck out in the desert. Unfortunately, when I got back, when I put all my stuff in the truck and I was taking my gear off, I must have hit the door switch or something, but I locked my phone, my house keys, everything in the truck. So I ended up just throwing a rock through the window. I couldn't get the antenna off. So we're gonna have to clean that out, but I want to see if this bike fires up quick. So I'm just gonna get the booster pack and we'll see what happens. Okay, we got the booster pack hooked up to the positive and the negative. Let's see if this thing will fire up. I hear the fuel pump. We'll prime it a couple times since the fuel system was dry. It's got the 1,500 miles that the guy claimed it did. So let's see, we're in neutral. We got power. Let's see. That didn't sound good. What is this booster back there? Oh, I don't think this booster pack has enough power. Dang. Alright, we'll have to charge this and see what happens. Okay, I had another new battery for another bike. See if this, probably a high compression motor, so let's see what happens now. How about now? Why aren't we in neutral now? There it is. Alright, alright, it's turning over. Get that loud click. I don't have the rectifier when I hooked up the battery this time. Dang. Okay. Alright, I didn't have the ground for the rectifier hooked up that time. Key on, hear the fuel pump. We're in neutral. Nothing. Not groovy. What else could we be missing, you know? No action. I mean, I guess the next thing to do would be check for spark, you know, and see if we're getting fuel down there. at the injectors. Yeah, what the deuce? Yep. It seemed too good to be true that this was gonna just go back together and fire right up. Get the oil light on though. We'll have to look into this, see what's going on. Alright guys. It's the end of the night Sunday. We'll do an end of the weekend update real quick. So I got this Saturday afternoon. It was about 2:30 in the afternoon when I got home. And this thing was it was in 4 totes and a bunch of other boxes and a bunch of random hardware. The guy said everything was there. Supposedly it was a good running bike when he took it apart for, you know, he was going to convert it to a track bike. But now that I kind of went through everything, it is pretty good, but there's definitely some issues that, you know, he didn't mention. I'm sure he knew about, but whatever. I got it for a good price. So I went riding this morning, locked the keys in my truck and so I had to break my window. I cleaned my truck out. I got that all ready for the new window. And then when I got home, I messed with this some more. I finished going through all the parts and I got the garage all cleaned up again, as you can see. So these are the last parts that I have to put on. Is I got the right side front fairing, the chain guide, whether I use the carbon fiber or the original. The tail section, it looks like it was actually cut, but hopefully I can repair it or make something work or do a tidy tail. There's a heat shield. This was the original license plate lamp. I believe this is an aftermarket license plate bracket, but it's also been cut, I see. But it also came with an aftermarket license plate bracket, a flip up one, so we might hook that up. And we got a new oil filter, which I'm gonna get to that in a second. We're definitely gonna drain the oil, but so we're down to these last couple of parts, and this is the nuts and bolts I have left. I figured most of this stuff out, but you just match all the same ones and count how many you got, and when you're putting stuff together, it all falls into place. This I know is the cover for the battery box. This is for the right side fairing. These are going to be for the sprocket cover and stuff. Not the sprocket cover, the chain guide. The chain guide cover and some little stuff. I got a lot of it figured out. And then I got 1 tote of original parts that I could sell, and then there's a box of aftermarket stuff I can sell. There's another set of easy pull levers, the Yoshi pipe, because it's missing one side. I could probably sell some of that stuff. We got the extra seat, the stock bars. There's a bunch of stuff in there, but we're down to this last little stuff. We really don't have much left. Everything else is looking pretty good. And so what we have left is to get this battery box fits underneath here, which is an interesting place to put the battery, your rectifier, and all that wiring right behind the front wheel. But We'll get that battery box on. We'll get this last trim piece on there. And I have that one battery. It's a new battery. I got it on the charger since I was using it before. If it fits, we'll use this one. But I think I'm gonna have to order another battery. I don't know, it might, but I think it's a little too big, that one. But, so, I'll do a quick list of what I see that's left, like mechanical problems. Number one is the front brake has no pressure at all. There's fluid in there, but it has no pressure at all, and it's missing a bolt and a washer, and I didn't find that in the hardware, so we're gonna have to order that. So we're gonna make a list of what we need. On the gas tank, there was a little bushing. They have like special spacers. We were missing one of those. The tail light, brake light is good, but the rear blinkers and plate light, these wires have been cut. That's an easy fix. I think that's it back here. I noticed that the radiator is leaking a tiny bit right here, so we're gonna drain it a little, and we'll J&B weld it for now, and then we'll look into getting a new radiator. But so we got the rear lights, repair the radiator, front brakes. Oh, and then I tried to start it earlier and it was cranking. I put fresh gas in there. I hear the fuel pump, but it did have the red oil light on. And then this oil indicator, this was right in the middle when I picked the bike up, but this has an oil sump. So I don't know if the oil drained down into the motor or if the oil was drained, but that's what I was actually gonna do next. Before I go to bed tonight, I'm gonna pull the oil drain plug and pull the oil filter out, and we'll see how much oil's in this thing. But because the guy had the gas tank drained, so he might have drained the oil, who knows. But I remember it was on this indicator. It was right, the oil was right in the middle there. So we'll see how much oil comes out. I'm gonna order a battery if that one doesn't fit, and then I'm gonna order some, what was this? This was like 1050 weight synthetic. 2.5 or 3 quarts, something like that. We're gonna order oil and a battery. I have a new filter, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and then I also got this really nice KTM tank bag, which I don't know. I'll probably keep that. I don't know. It will cover up these scratches he got on the thing. But it's got the aftermarket bars, the levers. It stinks that he messed up the Yoshi exhaust, but the tires look good. I know they're old, but definitely good enough to give it a test drive when it's all together. But I'm not too far. I got like another day or so to put that back together, do the tail light, and then hopefully the brakes, it just bleed the brakes. But I'm gonna make a list of, I know there's gonna be a couple little things that I gotta get from KTM, but get them before they go out of business too, right? But that's it for now. It's looking really good. I'll be happier once I hear it start. But it turns over. It sounds like it's got really good compression. And hopefully we don't have to start. I hope this thing starts. I hope I don't have to really start digging into it. I hope this guy didn't burn me. But it happens sometimes. I've been pretty lucky lately. But that's it for now. We'll make another video once I got a good amount of progress. I'll try to keep these short little videos down. That's it for now. Thanks. Have a good night.